From the NewsChannel 5 network and Out and About Nashville, this is Out and About Today, sponsored by the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Good evening and welcome to Out and About Today. I'm Pam Wheeler. On tonight's show, Chuck and Brent will finally get a chance to react to our new administration. Me too. And later, Chuck shares some interesting insight on GLAAD's annual report on LGBTQ representation on primetime television. But now I'm joined via Zoom by my co-hosts Brent Meredith and Chuck Long. And for the first time in a long time, we're going to enjoy this political buzzabout. Welcome, guys. It's good to see you.
Hello. Good intro.
You know, at the time of this taping, I just think it's important to let our guests know President Biden's been in office for about a week. So sometimes this is going to air. It's going to be a little dated, but I couldn't help it. I had to talk about it because we went 4 years being angry and sad around here, and I'm going to take an opportunity to lighten the mood. So let's start with Chuck. Chuck, tell me about your overall well-being over the last week and what you anticipate it being in the future.
Well, I will have to say, at first it was almost PTSD. I almost felt like it was hard to be happy and hard to be calm and hard to feel good, just because it was like what had happened over the last 4 years. But it kind of now, as you know, day by day as it goes by, there's just a calm over the storm. And I know we're not like in a perfect place, but it's just such a much better place. So it feels so much better. There's hope. And, you know, and I will say also, you know, I look at some of the people that I know that, you know, did vote for Trump and you know, are on that side of the fence. And I'm just trying, you know, in this period to not always be so reactionary to everything that they say, and just listen a bit and then hope that eventually we can bring that little unity piece together. So we'll see.
Yeah, we're going to talk about unity in just a minute. Brent, how are you feeling? Where's your head right now?
Well, I feel like I lost about 350 pounds. You know, it really, truly did feel like there was a bit of a weight lifted after the inauguration, just sort of a moment. And I've tried to carry that forward. Of course, we all know, you know, all the events that took place on the 6th and everything that's going on with that. So while that stuff is a little bit easier to ignore at the moment, and sort of clear our heads, I've been trying to take advantage of that and just sort of take a mental break. I mean, like Chuck said, there's plenty to worry about and plenty to look ahead to, but by golly, we deserve at least a week worth of celebration, right?
we deserve longer than that. There were some hard times, and I was unplugged, but I could still hear about it somehow.
Well, that's the thing. Like he couldn't tweet, and you couldn't avoid it because there was a tweet, and there was the news about it, and the news about the news about it, and so it's just sort of nice to not have that noise.
I know, a return to some normal times. I do want to touch on the inauguration. We've already had a clip up. There'll be some pictures going. What was your favorite part of the day? What did you think was unique? What brought out all the feels for you? I know you watched. Brent, why don't you take that one?
Sure. I watched it. I still have it on DVR. I plan to watch it again if I need a moment of uplifting. But I really enjoyed Amanda Gorman's poem, The Hill We Climb. And I did a post that same day on Facebook about it because it reminded me so much of Maya Angelou's poem that she read during the first Clinton inauguration on the Pulse of Morning. And just that sense of feeling of just hope and excitement and determination for the future. And it just was a hard moment to beat. Although, of course, Gaga singing and the other performers, Garth Brooks, I almost forgot his name, seeing Garth run through the crowd. I mean, it just sort of brought happiness back. I'm sure you guys remember the speech 4 years ago after it was over. I felt like we had been scolded and it was some sort of dark future ahead. It was just nice to see the light.
Yeah, for sure. Chuck?
Well, everything yes to what Brent said. And specifically, though, one of the things that I just found to me kind of set the mood was after saying, you know, and he was running around hugging everybody and he hugged the Clintons. And then I loved it when he was about to leave and Bill Clinton stopped him and motioned over to the Bushes. I just thought that's what we want to see. That's Democrats and Republicans and just people coming together. He wanted to make sure that, you know, Garth said hey to them too, just because Garth, he would have, he just didn't see them. But to me, that encompassed a lot of what the whole day was about, was really bringing people together.
I know. I totally agree with you on that. It is such a nice return. And, 4 years ago, we were bringing up the shots of the inauguration and the crowd discussion, how many people were there. And, of course, that couldn't even be a point of discussion. Everything looked different. There could be no crowds. There were no balls. And it did make me think, was that nice in a way to not have... I mean, I almost hate to say this to two gays, but not to have the pomp and circumstance and to just think about getting to business. Did any of that resonate with you, with you guys? I don't even know if I should be asking this question. Chuck, what do you think?
So it did. No, it's a very fair question, and it resonated. And yet, at the same time, we gaze out there like, Gaga's moment. When she sang, it was like, oh my gosh, just the confidence and the love just rushed over you. And when Michelle Obama walked out, stunning outfit, those kind of things. It was the simple things. It was the little things, everything. When Jennifer Lopez, said, let's get loud in that one little moment, all those little moments to me were the fireworks.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? That's a really great point, Brent.
No, I agree with Chuck. And then the thing, I loved the tribute to America that sort of took place after the fact, that we all could sit and watch, and it brought in people from across the country. It brought in everybody had a chance to attend the inauguration this year. The balls are great. I know they're necessary. They're fundraising events. There's a lot of things that have to be done at those events. But, for those of us who don't really ever get invited to those anyway, it was sort of nice to sit back and just watch that show, see Tom Hanks, see the other performers, and just sort of feel good again. And so it was just really nice to kind of watch it. And then real fireworks, like there was actual real fireworks that we got to celebrate and watch at the end. I think we were owed that. We waited we needed that moment. And as far as, crowd size, it was nice to see the crowd or the event take into consideration where we're at. For the last almost year now, we've seen events happen, and it's almost like we're living in a parallel universe. Nobody's social distancing, there's no masks, there's no monitors, everybody's just sort of pretending like things haven't changed. And it was nice to see that incorporated, not harped on, but incorporated.
Yes, I agree. Okay, guys, we've got to take a short break. When we come back, we're still talking with Chuck and Brent about the new president. Stay with us.